Welcome. This will be my spoiler-free review of the 1984 video game Pac-Land. You can play this, as I did, through the Namco Museum Archives Volume 2. The game is rated E for everyone, so will this video be. And yeah, I really love this one. So basically, at first, before I played this, I wasn't sure how different from the first Pac-Man this was going to be, because this was back when it would make a sequel and it would sometimes be extremely different. Extremely the same. Extremely not different. I am reconsidering recording videos this soon after I get up in the morning. Anyway, this one, where the first was, you're moving through this kind of, it's a maze, but you can see from right away everywhere you can go, kind of thing, and you're avoiding enemies that are, able to corner you and such. This one, I was actually kind of reminded of the Endless Runner. Though it is a side view and it's of course not 3D. Some of those have at least elements of 3D, and I don't know if I've played enough to say if it's like the majority or whatever. Anyway, this one, yeah, you are still picking up, for example, cherries, but now you're jumping to pick them up. There are still enemies, but there's more than the one type, and the different ones have different movement patterns, and basically, they don't all kill the moment you touch them, but I know there was like one where if I wasn't careful, I could end up on top of it, and it would then, fly upwards until I was so high up that I lost a life from it, so that's how, yeah, and some of them, you know, will try to run into you and just, yeah, I don't know, the different movement patterns, you have to memorize the different ones, and you are moving side to side, jumping, and there might be things in your path that you have to jump over. And one thing I really noticed here was, I mean, we do already think of the original Pac-Man as not exactly like dark, even though, maze, ghosts, all this stuff. But I think it might be just because of his appearance. There's a friendly appearance to Pac-Man. This time it's made even more so. Like, he kind of looks. This is actually, I've seen him look like this in other media. I didn't know. I mean, actually, I guess I don't know if this is the very first time he looked like that, but I didn't even know it was in a game this far back. I've seen somewhat more recent games where he looked like this, and I kind of assumed that it was, yeah, more recent. But yeah, it's quite fun, and it's much more bright and colorful than the original. You're walking past houses, and the background is, much more dynamic than in the original. And I really appreciate how different the gameplay is. I was not at all thinking of, thinking the same way during playing this that I was in the original, because like the original's still around, although I suppose I don't actually know how long an arcade machine lasts, but certainly today it's easy enough to find the original as well, and yeah, you, it's a great way to, still get young people's money who liked the first one, and delivering something that's very different but feels, you know yeah, feels like it fits within. And I suppose that pretty much covers everything. It was very fun to see these very crudely drawn houses and such. I remember games from my childhood that had you walking past, stuff like that. I think that pretty much covers. Yeah, it's a very good way to do, you know, more of this. And it's a clever title to call it Pac-Land, to make it clear that, you're not in the maze anymore. I feel like that is everything that I wanted to make sure to say. Yeah. Um, I rate this 8 Pac-Men? Pax-Man. Exploring, a living area while dodging enemies and grabbing fruit out of 10.